Hey y'all, welcome to the Fillin Station. It's a new day, another opportunity to either make money in this market or to just learn from the market. But first, let me give my disclaimer. I am not a financial advisor. I just enjoy teaching people how to build generational wealth. And yes, the stock market is just one of those avenues. So this video is for educational purposes only. But if you could please like, share, subscribe, y'all. We learn and we grow together. With that being said, let's get started. So we are looking at AMD. We closed at 210.78. And I always like to say, where are the trouble places, right? So as of right now, price was gathering, let's say, in this area here as a support, let's say around the 211.96. But guess what? We broke through that. The 5 EMA, 50 EMA, ATR trailing stop, and a level that we have marked here. And we see that there's some rejection here. So this could be an area of support and resistance. So we got to watch this 212.48 area. So I'd like to say, where are the trouble places, right? So if we break above, we'll need to get back above that 213.11, which is where the body of this candle here is. We need to get back above that 213.11, 213.13, which is not surprising that we kind of got rejected there, right? So breaking that 213.13, we could possibly have trouble again. 214.17, 214.58, 215.16, and again at 215.86. Now that 215.86, breaking that, the 200 EMA is around the 216.38. We could possibly have trouble there for those who use the moving averages, our EMAs, as your support and resistance. It kind of helps with support and resistance, right? So breaking that 216.38, 216.81, and there's a few layers here up to the 217.39, 217.98, 218.59, and again here at 219.13. Again, those are possible areas of resistance for AMD. And keep in mind, I look at it on a smaller scale. Again, why? Because when I'm in the trade, I kind of want to know where my possible trouble places are. So looking at AMD back to the downside, we will need to break back under, let's say, this 211.96, right? Because it held us up in this area here. 211.96, should we break that, we could very well come back to around the 211.01. Why? Because price gathered in this area here before. So it's a strong possibility it could be a support place for us again. Breaking that 211.01, y'all see the ATR trail and stop is right there at a level we kind of have marked at that 210.34. I like to see that. Now breaking that, we could possibly come back down to, let's say, the 209.74 area for AMD. And should we break that, we could very well come back to 208.36 and again 207.67. Now breaking that 208.67 for AMD, the next level I have marked is around the 204.88. But keep in mind, we could very well get stopped out anywhere in this area here. So if AMD is something that you trade today, I say often, y'all, trade carefully, mark your levels. Once it goes against your why or your reason for getting in the trade, get out so that you can live to trade another day, right? So we are now looking at Meta. We closed at 644.23, and as you can see, we're trading sideways a little here, right? So where are the trouble places? We have support right now, 644.99, and we can say our resistance area is around that 648.05. Now breaking that to the upside, we could possibly have trouble again 649.41, and breaking that, we could possibly have trouble 650.02, and there's an ATR trail and stop at that 650.35, not very far away. So that could be strong area of resistance for Meta today, right? So breaking that, we could possibly have trouble again 651.35, and should we break the 651.35, 654.04 could be a rejection area, and breaking that 655.23, and should we break that 657.64 could be an area of resistance. Breaking that 657, let me get it right, 657.64, yes, breaking that 659.07, 659.89, and again here at 661.50. Now back to the downside. Let's say we break under the 643.21. Y'all see price was held up or gathered. We've been here, right? So that level of 642.60 and breaking that level 641.47, 640.42, 639.97, and again here at the 639.05, and y'all see we were here, right? 639.05, and it looks like we have some earnings to report Is that today? We have earnings to report for Meta. So if that's something that you trade, I say trade carefully. It is today 12:15, so be very, very careful, right? So breaking this level here of 638.60, we could very well come back to 637.70 and breaking that 635.43. So if Meta is something that you trade today, keep in mind it does report earnings today. I'm not sure when, but if that's something that you trade, again, trade carefully, mark your levels. Once it goes against your why or your reason for getting in the trade, get out and make sure that you have a reason to get in the trade, right? So we are now looking at NVDA. We closed at 175.02. And as you can see, price has been gathering in this area here, 176.89. Resistance was at that 177.26 area, but we tried to break through and have trouble here at another level we have marked at the 177.43. So breaking that, possibly trouble again at 177.59, breaking that level, 177.80. Y'all see it is really, really close to that ATR trail and stop. I love to see that. And it's just simple support and resistance, in my opinion, right? Where are the gathering spots or the places that it's consolidated, and mark those levels, right? Because price is probably going to come back to that place again. So again, breaking that 177.80 for NVIDIA, we could possibly have trouble 177.99 and breaking that 178.25. Should we break that for NVIDIA, 178.59 and breaking that 178.86. Breaking the 178.86 today, possibly 179.16. Those are possible areas of resistance or trouble places to the upside. Now, to the downside, let's say we break under the 176.89. Next level here is around the 176.60. Again, 176.38. 176.16, and breaking that brings us back to the 175.88, which puts us under this area here. So that's something to be mindful of, breaking that 175.88. Should we break that, we could very well come back to 175.47, breaking that 175.22, and breaking that 174.92. Should we break that 174.68, y'all see it here, it's held us up in this area, 174.62 before. So coming back to this area again, could we break through? Very well so. Breaking that brings us back to 174.52 and breaking that 174.18 and under that 174. So if NVIDIA is something that you trade, y'all trade carefully. Mark your levels. Make sure you have the discipline to get in at the right time and out at the right time, right? So we are looking at the SPY. We close at 681.76. The SPY has been interesting, right? So as of right now, support is around, we can say here at 684.47, but y'all see those moving averages here and a level that we have marked here, that 684.27. So 684.27, 684.47, around that area is our support as of now. We can say our resistance at 685.20. Let me make sure I have that right. 685.21, and as you can see, we've hit that area a few times and we did not break through that. So if we should break that, we just know that the ATR trail and stop is around 685.51, and y'all see the 685.58. So there's a strong area of resistance for the SPY there, in my opinion, in this area here. So breaking that, we could possibly have trouble again, 685.88, again 686.08, and breaking that 686.08, 686.31, breaking that 686.51. Should we break that, 686.93, 687.23, 687.57. Those are possible areas of resistance for the SPY today. Again, not financial advice. Keep in mind that 200 EMA is kind of holding us up for support right here. 5 EMA is holding us up for support, and this little level, 684.88. So breaking under those levels, we could very well come back to 684.47. Breaking that brings us back to that 684.27. And should we break that for the SPY today, 683.75 and 683.23, 682.96, 682.73, 682.12, and breaking that brings us to 681.91. Keep in mind, we were kind of like in this area here. I'm going to mark here why, because y'all see That is actually where price gathered, that 681.78. So there's a few layers of support in this 682.12 down to the 681.78 for the SPY today. Again, not financial advice. However, breaking that, we could very well come back to the 681.35. Breaking that 681.35 for the SPY today. 680.37 could possibly be a rejection area for us. Again, not financial advice, but breaking that 679.95, breaking that 679.35. So if you're trading the SPY today, those are possible areas of support and resistance. I say it often, y'all, trade carefully. Make sure you have a why before getting in the trade instead of just jumping in the trade, right? So we are looking at Tesla. And I say it often, y'all, Tesla does what Tesla does. Looking at it on this 30-minute chart, it looks like we're just moving to the upside, right? So higher highs as we see here, right? So Tesla closed at 458.96. We made a pre-market high thus far of 466.43, not far from a level that we have marked at the 467 area as resistance. So where are the trouble places for Tesla? As you can see, we came all the way down here and bounced off of a level that we kind of knew we could possibly have trouble, right? So where are the trouble places as of now? So I would say around that 463.45. That 5 EMA is holding us up now. But here at this level, why? Because price gathered here at this 463.45 and resistance, we can say 465.70. And breaking that, we could very well come back to this 467 area to have trouble. Breaking that 467 for Tesla today, y'all see there's a few layers up here. 469.82. 471.06 up to the 472.11. Now breaking that 472.11 area, which is here, we've broken through a few layers of resistance. Keep that in mind. Now breaking that brings us back to 473.42, 474.48. And again here at 475.69. Breaking that 475.69. We have 475.97, which is the daily. It's the on ATR trailing stop on the daily chart. So if Tesla break through all of those layers here, we could possibly come up to that 475.97 and have some trouble. So again, not financial advice now. So breaking that back to the downside. Let's say if we break under the 463.45, have 462.14, 461.13, 459.86, 459.07. Y'all see that ATR trailing stop, 50 EMA, and right up under that is the level we have marked at 457.97, kind of right there where price stopped, right? So breaking this tells me we've broken through a key level of support for Tesla, so we could possibly come back to around the 456.93. So I'm going to see if I can make that, yes, 456.93 area here. Now breaking that, we could very well come back to the 455.92. Keep in mind, something held us up in this area here, 455.92, and breaking that possibly 455.02, 454.30, 453.63, and again 452.65, breaking that 452.08, breaking that 451.45, and should we break that 450.91, that is where you see it here. 200 EMA is right at a level that we have marked. So, and y'all see it here where the body of these candles are. That makes a difference when you're looking at the candles, in my opinion, right? So again, this is what I see when I look at the market, y'all. I say it often that, you know, if Tesla is something that you trade carefully, mark your levels, make sure you know where your support and your resistance is, and make sure you have the discipline to execute your plan. I hope that everyone have a very profitable and a very productive day today. Again, if you could, please like, share, subscribe, y'all. We learn and we grow together. So until next time, be blessed as well as a blessing unto others.